What was the happiest day of your life? For me, it was the day my little brother spoke again. After a drunk driving accident when he was 8, my little borough LA retreated in a fortress of absolute that lasted for 2 solid years. The kid who used to narrate his entire life like a sports commentator was just going. Doctors, therapists, and specialists offered theories about trauma, but nothing worked. So at 13, I became his bodyguard and his translator. For 2 years, I gave up parties, friends, and a normal teenage life to be his shield. I learned to interpret the tap of his finger, the shift in his eyes. Some days were dark. I'd find him crying silently in his room, and I would just sit on the floor beside him until he fell asleep. Then, after months of saving up from her double shifts as a nurse, my mom bought us tickets to Comic-Con. It was a long shot. A desperate hope that surrounding him with the superheroes he once adored might rekindle a spark. I was skeptical, but for my mom, I'd try anything. I squeezed into a too small Spider-Man a huge step allowed Mom to pin a small Batman button on his hoodie. The convention was a sensory overload of noise and color. Eli stayed close, but he wasn't overwhelmed. Then, a guy dressed as Batman, and it was a master by EC of a costume. Full armor, a flowing cape, and a voice modulator that made him sound XTL like the real thing. He saw Ellie's pin crouched down to his level and spoke in that deep, gravelly voice, "Nice pin, kid. You've got the heart of a real hero." I was about to thank him and move on to protect Eli from the pressure of response, but then I heard it. A whisper so quiet it was barely there. "You too." I froze. My entire world stopped, had I imagined it. But the Batman cosplayer smiled beneath his cowl and gave Eli a fist bump. I turned to my brother, my heart hammering against my ribs. He looked at me, his eyes clear for the first time in years, and his scratchy, unused bow icy filled the air. "Can we find the booth with the posters?" That was it. The dam broke. I grabbed him in a hug so tight a volunteer had to check on us. My mom was sobbing even, and Batman looked a little misty-eyed. For the rest of the day, Eli spoke in short, shaky sentences. "That's cool. Can we get nachos?" We got him every kind he wanted. Later, he looked at me and said, "Sorry I was quiet for so long. I wanted to talk, but I forgot how." Mom asked what made today different. He just shrugged. Batman told me I was a hero. Heroes talk. That night, he handed me a piece of paper. It was a drawing he made showing Batman and Spider-Man shaking hands. Underneath, in messy kid letters, he'd written, "Be a stay-wiver," and it was. It was the happiest day of my life.